The National Center to Improve Practice, NCIP, enhancing special education through technology, media, and materials. This is one in a series of NCIP profiles. Imagine you are 4 years old. You are bright and full of life. You want to share your world with others, but you cannot speak and your movement is limited. How do you communicate? Welcome to my preschool, Communicating with Technology.
Wind and rain to the east and the west, and a baby learns.
Early childhood educators face many challenges when designing programs that include children with a range of disabilities. How can children who cannot speak make themselves heard? How can children who have limited movement participate in activities with their peers? How can children with multiple disabilities be guaranteed some degree of independence when interacting with the curriculum?
All set to make our milkshake?
Teachers at the Howard Diagnostic Center in the Brockton, Massachusetts Public School District have found that alternative communication strategies, bolstered by the creative use of technology, provide answers to many of these questions. Educators here have used technology to expand communication and access opportunities for children. It's an innovative effort supported by top school administrators. Helen Verga is the Brockton School District's Special Education Technology Coordinator.
Part of my job is to help children achieve their potential. I have people look at children and they don't think that this particular child has potential. And I know that they do. And if you can bring the technology into the picture, bring the technology to the child, then the child can communicate, the child can participate, the child becomes accepted by his peers, and then I'll have people come back and look at this child and say, I had no idea this child could do this, and they can.
What are we going to pick here? Smile. You like that smile, huh? Okay,
Students in Barbara Smith's inclusive classroom have a wide range of abilities and disabilities. Working from a basic belief that each child can be a productive, contributing member of the classroom, Barbara and her colleagues use technology to ensure that all children are full participants in the curriculum and that they have the tools they need to communicate with each other and their teachers.
in my classroom we have quite a diversity. We have 13 children. The ages range from age 3 to 5 turning 6, being early childhood. I have kids in here this year who have autism. I have kids who have strong language needs. I have physically challenged kids, and I have kids with medical needs, and typical kids with no special needs.
Look, there he is, forgetful.
I think by getting kids together and getting that inclusive or that integrated environment takes some careful planning. And basically the first thing that I have done is looked at the classroom as an early childhood classroom. So therefore the curriculum is geared towards the typical early childhood classroom. And then what I do is then modify it depending upon the needs of the individual children. So then therefore everyone is a full participant in the classroom. Show me that you want to turn. Okay, it's Ricky's turn. Okay, let's see what
Let's take a closer look at Barbara's classroom. You'll see how the creative application of technology is providing the means for all children to succeed, both those with disabilities as well as those without.
Gabriella wants to go play with what? A book?
At the heart of Barbara's approach is a shared classroom language. Communication boards with photographs or picture symbols provide the basis for children to make choices throughout the day. These are examples of low-tech alternative communication strategies.
all the kids can communicate. It's just they're all going about it in different ways.
What do you want to put on, Gabriella? Shoes?
We have a housekeeping area that also is with dress up. And what we have is lots of Mayor Johnson board maker symbols that we've placed all around our housekeeping area. And the reason that we've done this is that we want all our kids to be able to communicate to us what it is that they want to do in the housekeeping area. Some of our kids love to dress up, but they're not able to reach into the bucket to get the clothes out that they want. So if we were able to offer them a choice of what clothing items they would like, then we're able to reciprocate and help them get the clothing that they want. And by putting comments and descriptors and adjectives in there, they can then comment about how they feel about being dressed up.
We were all dressed up, right?
Using these tools allows children to communicate what they want and don't want. It builds their independence while emphasizing critical self-determination skills. Sometimes the pictures are placed on simple switches, such as the Big Mac. Teachers or peers pre-record corresponding messages into the switch. When the child wants the object, they press the switch, as Martha does during a snack.
Okay.
A small electronic device, the speakeasy, works in a similar way. This tool allows children to select from a field of choices by pressing the corresponding picture.
You want to stop, or do you want to do some more? You want a drink? Okay, well, let's go get a drink then. Here, take your device. Take this with you.
If children cannot use their hands due to physical difficulties, a plexiglass eye gaze board can be substituted. The child makes a choice by looking at the picture of the preferred activity. The teacher or friend stands behind the board and watches to see where the child's eyes are looking.
Okay.
With a shared language structure in place, students are now ready to participate in activities. Barbara uses developmentally appropriate practices in organizing her classroom curriculum.
In our classroom, it's typically an early childhood classroom, so you're talking lots of play centers and play-based activities. What we need to do is we look at our activities in our centers and we troubleshoot ways that all of our children can gain access into those play centers. An example would be the water table. Everybody likes to play at the water table, so if I have a child who is not able to get their hands into the water table, how am I going to get that child involved in that activity at that water table? And the technology is going to give me a method to get that child entrance into it.
Lindsay and Ricky gain access to the water table via a hookup between a water pick, a switch, and an environmental control unit. This allows the water pick to be turned on by a single switch. This technology device enables children with limited physical ability to participate with their classmates, not just at the water table, but in other activities throughout the classroom as well.
All right, you hold it. And Amanda, why don't you open it? We do a lot of cooking in our classroom, and one of the challenges is how are we going to get some of our kids who are physically challenged to fully participate in cooking. And one nice device for us has been a pouring cup, and we use a single switch, and this enables all kids to use a single switch so that they can either pour with the pouring cup or they can reach out and pour with the actual cup.
Tell Rudy to blow a bubble.
We have a bubble station. That's one of our play centers in our classroom. Some of our kids are not able to get the blow out to blow a bubble. Some of our kids can pop to reach a bubble, but all of us can do something. So what we do is use a lot of the voice output switches to comment or describe or to name some actions, so that if you put it, let's say, an action on it of pop the bubble, that child could give the prompt for another child perhaps to reach out and pop it, or a friend could blow the bubble. Look!
Technology also supports instruction during circle and story time. Barbara makes sure that Ricky will be able to participate by having him use his Big Mac. In preparation, Amanda records a message for Ricky to use during circle time.
We have circle time in our classroom, and circle time consists of singing a song. We'll talk about, sometimes we'll have a choice of a song using symbols. We do the weather of the day. We talk about the name of the day. Basically what we do with our song is how we're going to get some of our kids to sing during and participate when we have verbal kids who are singing away. And what we like to do is take our voice output switches, put on that repetitive song chant, and use a Mayor Johnson symbol. Have a friend load in the repetitive chant, and then the child who's nonverbal can then touch that switch or activate that switch, and they can sing along with their peers. Smiling day.
As in most early childhood classrooms, developing literacy is a primary goal. In Barbara's classroom, children access some of their favorite stories on the computer.
We use the computer very frequently and very often in our classroom, and one way that we use it is we use a lot of storybooks on the computer. A lot of our kids are kids who can't reach out and touch that book and turn the pages, and although they will sit down with peers and peers will turn the pages for them, the computer gives them a way to do it independently. So therefore we're able to hook up a single switch to an interface that then will turn the pages of the book, so the child can have the text read to them and they can actually turn the pages of a book, but on the computer.
Happy birthday to you.
To deepen children's expanding literacy and language development, Barbara uses thematic units. Again, she uses technology to enhance children's participation.
In our classroom, I like to use a lot of themes and units in the classroom, and especially literacy books. We met a character named Forgetful on our computer. We read a story and we met about Forgetful. And our kids had such a bond with Forgetful that I wanted to keep the unit going longer and the theme going longer. So what I did was extended a story and started to make up stories centered around Forgetful with the children in the classroom. And so they became the characters in the book. Having an Apple camera enabled me to take pictures of the children so that they could see themselves on the pages of the book. And then printing it out and laminating, we're able to string it and make books. And we've made a couple of them with Forgetful as the character.
Oh, look!
Hello, children.
Quick, get his box!
To extend the unit, Barbara has the children package up Forgetful and send him off on a journey to another school. There, the new class will read about Forgetful's adventures in Barbara's class and then write their own story. All of the children get to say goodbye when the postman comes to send Forgetful off.
Bye-bye, Forgetful.
Bye, Forgetful. Bye.
Bye-bye.
There is no doubt that technology, combined with Barbara and her colleagues' ingenuity, is the key to enhancing learning for children with varying abilities. Through technology, children who otherwise would be denied access become full participants in the classroom.
Ready, set, go!
What I treasure about this classroom is that kids are truly inclusive. Kids are playing together, kids are smiling together. The technology, without it, it just wouldn't happen.
The end.
Welcome to my preschool, Communicating with Technology. Developed by the National Center to Improve Practice and Education Development Center, Inc. You can contact INSEP at their website, http://www.edc.org/FSC/NCIP/, or write to INSEP, care of Judy's office at Education Development Center, Inc., 55 Chapel Street, Newton, Massachusetts, 02158-1060. Special thanks to Barbara Smith, her colleagues and students at the Howard Diagnostic Center in Brockton, Massachusetts, and to Kenneth Sinnott, Connie Hill, and Helen Verga of the Brockton Public Schools. Produced by Warger Evie & Associates with Hamilton Productions. This video was funded by the U.S. Department of Education Office of Special Education Programs, grant number H180N20013. Contents do not necessarily reflect the views or policies of the Department of Education, nor does mention of trade names, commercial products, or organizations imply endorsement by INSEP, EDC, or the U.S. government. Big Mac and Speakeasy are trademarks of AbleNet, Inc., Minneapolis, Minnesota. Forgetful is a character from Storytime Tales by Patty King DeBond, published by Don Johnston Incorporated. In the Circle of the Sun, copyright 1982, Sally Rogers, published by Thrushwood Press Publishing, BMI.